Jamaal, I can tell you right now, you are a character in a sense of like a character of a book of like a grandeur sense. Having an experience.
I'm the best book too, by the way.
But the point
if you know me, I'm a better book than any book. I'm the best read. How about that?
Mold, you're gonna run.
Mold, yeah. That's the word.
Just make sure you know. I'll be security too.
This way they keep your avocados cold. That way they don't also go right too fast too.
He's gonna kill it. I don't really have to say much.
Yeah, just
like,
smile at least.
Hey. All right. Oh, I got it. We're good to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's going on? It is Jamaal Sabree. I'm a Southern California real estate agent with Keller Williams. But right now we're in the heart of Temecula, Wilson Creek Winery with my good friend Zach.
What's going on?
What's up, man? What do you do, Zach? Real quick, tell us what you do.
So basically, I'm the avocado guy.
Okay.
As you can see, avocados.
Avocado guy.
What I am is I'm the sales and marketing director for A Better Home Inspection, and we've been in the industry for 30 plus years, Southern California fully. Okay. That's going to include Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego County. Down to the border, on up to the top.
Boom.
It's there.
All right, stop. First, we're going to do the icebreaker. I got a bunch of change in my hand. So you're going to choose a coin, and depending on the year, you're going to tell me what you remember from that year.
All right,
choose
let's see. Go for a quarter. 1986. Wouldn't have been alive then.
Okay. Choose the other quarter.
All right.
Watch, I guarantee you. Choose the other quarter.
2003.
2003. What do you remember from 2003?
So, 2003, I would have been just going into middle school, maybe about 7th grade. Okay. And I remember my parents had divorced. And this is actually a big inspiration for why I work so hard for people, is because I watched my mom work so hard for so many people and get just stomped on by others. So during that time, I lived in a duplex in not so great of a neighborhood, and very much was not, you know.
Where was the neighborhood?
Vista. Downtown Vista. Down in town site. Down in town site though.
Okay.
So yeah. In that area, and
is that near Tri-City?
Yeah, it's so West Los Angeles Street, California.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, in that area, in that space, I had to learn that basically, if you wanted to get something done, if you wanted to do anything, you had to be willing to fight for it. You had to be willing to stand up for it.
Choose another coin.
All right.
Yo, save this good. I know you got a lot of good stuff. Save the good stuff.
Go for it.
It's just icebreaker, man. Come on now.
Let's see. Oh, 2018. I was trying to get your business. How about that? That's something I remember. I was trying to go over. Hey, next home inspection, man. It's on you. It's on you. 2020, folks.
Like
now we're here. Y'all bringing wings after this to Martha Robles and her call group? Are you gonna go big hustling with her?
I'll be there.
Well, I got spicy hot wings, man.
Yo, you bringing wings?
I'm bringing wings for
All
you.
right, I'm making some calls
all right,
tonight.
See, now I got him motivated.
Hold up. One more coin. Do it for the hood.
1998.
1998. Yes.
I would have been 5.
5? Oh, get my change back though.
There you go.
He over here trying to steal my change.
So 5 years old, I would have not been in daycare. My daycare would have been Camp Pendleton. Every day when I was 4 to 5 years old during the summer break, my dad took me to Camp Pendleton. My dad was a gunnery sergeant.
Mine too.
Fox Battery, artillery.
I grew up on Camp Pendleton.
So?
When were you born?
92.
92. I was born 90, bro. We grew up together.
Basically.
I grew up on Camp Pendleton.
Yeah.
Oceanside.
Hey, it's a small world out there, ain't it?
Yo, that's crazy. My dad was a gun. Dude, my dad probably knows your dad.
Probably. Pitts. Seriously, ask your pops if he knows Pitts. No, at 5 years old, I would have been on Camp Pendleton. My dad was artillery, and he would have been manning about 6 to 12 guns with his platoon.
Sounds about right.
And I would have been pulling the pins on the 155 howitzers, the pig as he calls it. And that was 5 years old, walking around with a bunch of Marines, pulling the pins on 1.5mm shells.
Hey, man.
Yeah, from that point forward, you know, then we moved out.
You still shooting or what?
No.
Okay, no more shooting. All right, enough of this change. Let's get into who you are, what you do. But before we talk about your business, which you're amazing, probably one of my favorite businessmen, because you're consistent. Like every week, nonstop. I see you every week. Let's talk about who you are first before we get into what your business is. Background, how'd you grow up?
So I am the mixture of farm life and city life. I grew up with consistently horses, chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, goats, whatever you name it, I probably raised it.
Okay.
And then, later in life, in my teenage years, I was, more centralized into like the inner city, the intersections of the town, suburbs, or, the barrio or the ghetto, whatever you want to call it. I saw through that process though, like you see a divorce occur, you see your family kind of sever, you see the financial status of both parents, and you kind of actually get a little bit more of an awakening, so to say, to understanding that like it's hard to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So I progressively gained a lot of respect for my parents in that regard for that, because I got to watch that, knowing it now, seeing it for myself, experiencing it for myself. It does hold a lot of merit on what I myself will do. So me showing up to your office is me showing up to a dozen other offices and showing my commitment to them. Why? Because I need to show that I'm committed in this industry. I'm constantly in your offices learning from you guys.
Constantly.
Because
I see you all the time.
And I got a hunger for knowledge.
I see you too much.
That's because you don't get enough work from me. But
just kidding. No, I love when you show up, man.
No, thank you.
Because one shows up with avocados.
Yeah, those are expensive.
We're gonna get into that more, but how growing up, because I want
thirst for knowledge. Growing up, that's it.
Okay.
Thirst for knowledge, man. From the time I was, I have things where they told me I had a high school reading education in 3rd grade.
Okay.
But I went to college, I got my associates in history, and I focused on the Greco-Roman studies. I have also criminal justice, political science, philosophy, and business marketing.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but where does because you're very passionate about what you do, and I love it.
Thank you.
And I think that's why you are successful in what you do. You're gonna be, obviously. Where does that passion come from? You touched on it a little bit, but where does it, maybe more detail on where it comes from?
When you lived in the conditions in the states that I grew up, where you just saw struggle in different variations and different forms, not from your own, but from others as well, and you examine the experiences like I did, I guess that's why. Mm-hmm. Is because I saw everyone else that was willing to take the roadblocks in life as legitimate roadblocks. They allowed their mental state to permeate in a sense of doubt and fear. And the reality is that the only true way to get anywhere with your dream, the only way to get anywhere with your passion, anywhere with your career, is if you strive to consistently get it. 100%. Whether that's me showing up to your office every day, to me doing my avocado packing every day, to me just sending out text messages and emails, man. The fact that I want to commit to my job the way that it is because I want to commit to succeeding in itself. And the only way you can do that in this world is not by individualism. There's no individualism of success. Mm-hmm. The most successful people in the world didn't become successful by themselves. They did float other boats with them in their time.
Okay.
And so by me helping you with, doing whatever, maybe it's just, hey, I'm going to share a listing of yours and maybe get you another potential client into your door. I want to do that because I know that your success is tied to our success. Okay. Because when you succeed and you work with me, then we succeed as a global. And then we and your clients, everyone in the process begins to succeed.
So, I love your background, by the way. I love it. So, I want you to because I know you have it. So I want you to give advice for people who grew up kind of how you grew up. Like, if you can look back and give advice to the younger you, what would that be?
You are always going to be misjudged. You are always going to be belittled and looked down upon. You are always going to be the tiniest speck of dust in the world to someone.
Yeah.
But what do you rate for yourself internally? How do you see yourself?
Mm-hmm. So what's your take, and this is the last thing on your life, but we'll go to your business. But I think this is important for people to know who you are, where you come from, and why you show up every day.
Gotcha.
Because I think you're not only going to get more business, you're going to actually teach people how to get more business. And you're literally teaching me right now. What's your take on your life? So, and here's what I mean. How do you feel like you grew up? Do you feel like your life was hard? Was it okay growing up, or was it the best life you ever had growing up?
I was given the best life possible by my parents.
Knew he was gonna give them.
That's no.
I knew it.
That's the reality, though. That is the reality. You are given legitimately the best life that your parents can possibly give you, and it is you that makes something of it. Now I understand that there's circumstances. There's circumstances that doesn't apply to.
That's reality. But what was your perspective growing up, though? What was that growing up?
Growing up, I didn't understand it.
Okay.
I lacked that depth of knowledge to cope with it in the way that my parents would have, or to understand them from their shoes. I only understood it as myself as a kid.
Yes.
And to say that was a base of merit to like what they did or how I feel about my life, that's neither here nor there. Because I could say like when I was 16, I could say that I hated my life and I was angry. But my parents equipped me with the most tools possible to succeed in this world. And it was up to me to pick them up and to learn on them. And if I didn't, then they're still trying to teach them to me. They sometimes have to bash it into my head a couple times, but hey, sometimes you gotta learn real hard. And I remember times where I shared just a can of peas on stolen cable, watching TV with them because we didn't have that money. But that's a good memory.
Yeah.
Stolen cable and just a can of peas between the two.
That's a good story.
It's not a very good situation, but it is legitimately a good story.
Yeah, it's a good story. All right, so that's amazing. So much wisdom. So much wisdom, dude. Like for real. Cheers to wisdom. How about that? Let's cheers to wisdom.
I'll cheers to
We
that,
need a thumbnail too. Do something stupid. Stupid. All right. So revisit what your business is.
Okay.
Your business name, who you are, how you got started.
So we are a Better Home Inspection.
Yep.
So that's just a Better Home Inspection.
Meaning you're better than everybody else.
I'm constantly striving to be better than everybody else. That's a better answer for it.
How'd you come up with the name?
That wasn't actually me. So the company started 30 years ago by, Danny Forrester, our owner.
Yeah.
Danny's grandfather started the company 30 years ago. The story is actually really funny because his grandmother was a top producing real estate agent. His grandfather was a real estate agent as well. Problem is that his grandfather loved to talk, and you remember Ray coming inside the real estate office at Keller Williams and saying hello to everyone. He'd take a long time because he chatted with everyone, so he would constantly talk. So she got sick of him and said, "Get out of here, you're fired." They remained married, and so I always get a couple laughs when I say that because people are like, "Why would the wife fire the husband?" Because she's doing better than him, and he may have just been distracting. So he said, all right, so what can I do? I used to build homes in Kansas, so what can I do? I don't want to build homes out in California. Why not look at them and make sure that they're built right? And so 30 years ago, he started the home inspection company, a Better Home Inspection, Forrester's Home Inspection.
30 years.
They inspected homes, and Danny, actually his mother, was also an inspector with Ray, and Danny grew up from the beginning of this company basically as a baby doing inspections or being on site with inspections. That's why so many realtors to this day in like the Temecula Riverside area that have been in the industry for 30 plus years still know Danny and love him.
They know him.
Because they've known him since he was just a little one. So he becomes a home inspector and he's just doing normal stuff in Fallbrook, maybe a little bit out here in Temecula, a little bit out in Riverside. But the reality is the business isn't coming like it should. But they did used to have avocado trees, so they would use the avocados as a way of handing out at the home inspection. These little avocados.
The little things, man.
Yeah, these expensive jewels. I will tell you what, these things cost our company a fortune to market this. But it's worth it. And to be honest, like we talked about it, we thought about taking him out in certain aspects.
Oh no, don't do that.
And that's the thing is like if we do that, we lose one thing. We lose the heart of it. We lose the soul and heart of the company.
So I see that this is real good sustenance, and this is real good on the outside of your company of where, hey,
how we approach.
This is how you guys approach.
Yes.
Now talk about
the service.
The service.
All right.
Because avocados, I know avocados ain't the end.
It's not the end.
Avocados is just, it's a great thing, but
it's
you guys are 10 times better than avocados.
So,
okay.
So there's a few things that why our inspection process is different and why I won't say it's better, but just simply it is a preferred.
It's better. I used them. I used them for the first time. It was way better.
It's a preferred process because of the way that we operate.
Okay.
One, you saw our inspector and the way that they interacted with your client.
Wait, hold up. By the way, it's better because he's sitting right here. There's like 3 other companies I could have had sitting right here.
You could have.
Just saying. and I've used a lot. And
those 3 other companies, I am pretty sure, actually have a lot bigger of a marketing budget, a lot more inspectors, and probably a lot more money. But I do a good job.
But it doesn't even matter. You can have all the money, all this, and this.
Exactly.
It's all about building customer service.
It's about your
service. Experience. So, sorry. Go ahead.
Carry on. So for the company itself, in our process, and why I say it's the preferred method. And I'll outline this in the simplest form for a realtor to understand, and then down to the client side.
Okay.
So for the realtor, it's this. How many days are the contingency periods now? Mm-hmm. I've heard crazy numbers like 10 and 12. I've heard some people pulling contingencies within 10 to 12 days. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, or you're still in the 30 days, but when are you calling for an inspector?
I mean, me personally, after we open escrow, maybe a day, two days after.
That's a good method. But in normal circumstances, in normal circumstances though, that may be a last thought in the mind, and that's okay. That's not necessarily a knock on that at all. It's just saying that having the forethought advances you, so that even if it's not my company and it's someone else, at least you're prepared. Mm-hmm. Because contingencies getting smaller means that the time period is just going to be limited for you to get your third-party vendors in, to do the inspections. Because once a home inspection comes in, I'm going to tell you to go and look at 3 different vendors that are a roofer, an electrician, and a plumber. Yeah. Because of various things that I've found. Mm-hmm. And I say this because I give you a bag of avocados at the inspection. That's the hello. That's our welcome. Like that's our just, hey, we're walking through the door here. I know this is gonna be scary.
Just do it for the avocados.
So here's some avocados to make it a little bit less scary.
Yeah.
That's the first part. And then the next part is that while we allow you and your clients to move around the property and to interact as you function as you want to go into rooms that your client may not have had the time to spend in. Because reality is nowadays, with the shorter transaction periods, you're looking at a client maybe seeing that house on an inspection for the 2nd or 3rd time. They've only seen that house 2 times, maybe 3 times. And now they've got 2 hours or less than that in some cases. Maybe you have your client show up in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I do that.
But the reality is they have more time.
Sometimes I don't even want them to show up.
I always like for the clients to show up.
It's just me.
I like to give them avocados. But the other part is that by them getting to know the property, by us walking it through them and showing, hey, we found this, and we found this. We don't do it in the sense of like, hey, we found an oh my God, this is going to be a disaster emergency. We're not presenting it that way. If there's a health and safety concern, we'll address it. Hey, this is a health and safety concern. Here's the reasons why, and here is what it is. Now, it may be just like a little bit of raised foundation or raised concrete that makes a trip hazard. That's still a health and safety standard. Yeah. And we're just presenting it. Mm-hmm. It's all about how you present the information. How you educate people is the key point. Mm-hmm. That education is key, because if I scare you, if I give you that, your house is the coronavirus, you're gonna run out of it. Yeah. Like you're gone. You're out. If I go running back, mold, you're gonna run.
Mold, yeah. That's the worst thing. Talk about that though, because that's literally the worst thing.
Okay, so mold. Well, mold has.
Here's what it is. I think my listeners, because it's a lot of real estate agents.
It's real estate agents, so I have to address with them.
So address the mold with these real estate agents. Okay,
so I'm gonna look right at the camera for this one.
Yeah, please.
So there is only 5 or 6 variations of mold that are deadly or harmful to humans.
5 or 6. It sounds like a lot. Sounds worse than the coronavirus, because there's only one coronavirus.
There's actually multiple versions of coronavirus.
Oh, is it?
This is just
education.
This is just a well,
I'm gonna stick to real estate. All right,
you look at a Clorox bottle, it'll say coronavirus.
Yeah, okay.
But mold is not necessarily a fear factor. What my company does, we do a report. We test it. We send it to an independent laboratory that's FDA and CDC certified, so that it's tested by an independent laboratory that then gives you results. Those results show you if there's an elevation in it and what that source may be coming from. Not necessarily, hey, we have the answer to where this mold is coming from, but the fact of saying this mold is produced by dry wood is enough to indicate that you may want to look into termites as well. It doesn't mean that you have to get remediation for the mold, because let's be honest, everything has mold on it. Everything has mold on it.
The air we breathe right now.
Spores. It's spores. It floats in the air. It's how it exists. It's how it travels. He's eating millions upon millions of microparticles at that moment. Like, mold is everywhere. To be scared of it is only because in real estate it can be the most heartbreaking. It can be the most fear factor.
But the reason
approach.
why it's that way is because of education. So when I first started real estate and I hear mold, I'm freaking out.
It's a 4-letter word, bud.
Yes.
Yep.
But then when I understood real estate, understood mold, understood the home inspection process more, understood all these different things, it allowed me to have...
You're more willing to bring it up to clients.
Yeah.
And to go, look, it's not that big of a deal. I get that it can be a big of a deal if you're not equipped to explain it. And personally in my company, like the way that we're doing things in our company is that we want to address that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that about a year ago there was a news story floating around about Camp Pendleton being filled with dangerous molds for military families.
Did you do a home inspection on it?
Well, that's the problem. That's government property. That's difficult to get in on a government deal.
We gotta get them in there.
I would love to get into it. I would love to help out.
This is gonna be that 30-second clip I chop up and I send it out to my people.
Yeah, but like you risk the chances of like nowadays we see more kids with asthma. We see more kids with more debilitating respiratory issues.
Yes.
And if your kid has that, then why not get a test and then an air quality test to determine what's in there? Not because you're scared of what's going to be there. It's because you want to care for your child. Mm-hmm. It's because I want to make sure that my child is living in a room and existing in a space that is going to be safe for them. And if there is higher mold that may just flare allergies, maybe I'd look into getting an air filter, a little system for their room, just to make their life a little bit better. I'm not talking about scaring you away from a home, because mold can be killed with bleach. Now, all of that considered, do you need to test for the mold under the sink that's slightly white and growing? No. Grab some bleach, wipe it away. If you're really concerned about it, if you see something that really makes you worried.
Clients, realtors, pay attention.
And monitor it. Honestly, if you wipe it away on one day, day 3, see if there's anything back. If there's anything back, you know that there's a bigger problem there. If there's nothing there, then it might have just been simply that there might have just been mold growth that's there.
So what's some advice you can give real estate agents? Because you know this field very well, and new real estate agents, even veterans in the game, don't understand the process of the home inspection really like you do. Maybe give some advice to real estate agents, even me, really.
The cheapest is not always the best.
Okay.
And the most expensive is not always the best. Never go for piecemeal options. Always go for a full service. Because if you're not going to go in for a full service, checking all of the systems, and just identifying the major piece and parcel, that's fine. Expect to be unexpected with some surprises. Case, you're going to get surprised. Hire inspectors that at least have insurance and are certified. CREA, INTERNACHI, ACHI, there's a dozen certifications. But the more that you can hire on someone that is insured and has certifications, the better. Because otherwise you put yourself at liability. And I put this out there as a sense of like your clients from the buyer or the selling end. Because you hire Joe Schmo off the street that says $250, any size home, I don't care.
I've done that. That was the biggest regret. It was the stupidest thing I could have done.
Well, Joe Schmo,
his name was literally Joe. Just kidding.
But Joe Schmo goes up on your roof, on your client's roof, and falls off.
Ooh.
Breaks his leg. Now this is the worst case scenario. But the reality is that, does Joe have insurance? Does he have workman's comp? Are you liable if this man has insurance? No, because he can likely cover himself. It's his responsibility as an insured party. But if he's uninsured, You, Jamaal, just picked up the liability on him, which means you now become his healthcare. You're paying for his medical bills because guess what? You're responsible for any party that comes onto the property. That the RP has it, licensed, insured, and bonded. There's many variations of that, but the essential part of it is that you have to have something to back yourself up to say, I am legitimately doing business. So if you don't want to look for a company that's legitimately doing business, then expect to get illegitimate results. Jamaal, I can tell you right now, you are a character, in a sense of like a character of a book of like a grandeur sense. Having an experience
I'm the
with
best
you.
book too, by the way.
But the
If
point
you
is
know
that-
me, I'm a better book than any book. I'm the best read. How about that?
But wouldn't you want a character out of a fantastic book than a robot? Wouldn't you have someone with life, with compassion, with something there, some flair and fire?
Unless it's iRobot, because remember, it's that
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
There's that point. I'm good you there. But the reality is that the open door brokerage app is not going to
I
offer
get
that.
you.
None of these are going to do it, man.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, my company is trying to reface this ourselves.
Yeah.
Why don't we try to provide something that puts you at a competitive edge
Yes.
with these open doors? Because guess what? Your clients are realistically going to have to do something to update their home. You don't really want to be the person to tell them that because they don't really like to listen to you all the time when you tell them something that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Unless you're telling them how much money they're going to make, 9 times out of 10 they don't really listen to you. So why not have an independent party come in, go, hey folks, this is what we found today, here's the major systems, these are good, this isn't, this needs to be brought up to date on code. Plain and simple. You pay a low fee. It's something that could even be written into your escrow documents. When you close the sale, hey, you're just gonna refund me on my home inspection I paid. $250, man, like whatever it may be. That's where I can offer you $250 any size house. That's the type of thing I can do.
The listing agent can give to the buyer agent, or do you
So I don't like
do
to
you
step into
suggest that?
I don't step into
Okay.
that, and there's reasons why.
Okay.
Because I cannot tell you what I'm going to find at the time of that home inspection. So for me to give you guidance on what you should do all of the time with the reports, I can't really. The idea though is that you'll have the home inspection report. Let's say one of the problems is something that you fix. Hey, can you guys come and check this out, make sure it's fixed, re-update this report. We do that for you. It reflects because a home inspection is only valid for up to the day of the home inspection itself. Anything past that, I'm sorry, I was not there to verify any of the conditions.
Yeah.
The day I was there, the time I was there, anything past that I can't verify.
Yeah.
So,
That's logic.
husband or wife could come home, hit the garage because they were looking at their phone when they're trying to pull in. Now the garage has a giant dent in it, but guess what? The inspector was there 2 hours ago. Does that show in the inspection report?
Nope.
To me, it was good. The wife came home, the husband came home, hit the door. Sorry.
You got photos of it.
Yeah, I have photos of a good door. You got photos of a bad door. My photos are hours ago. Your photos are right now.
Yeah. Good example. Good analogy.
But if you are able to coach your client, let's bring this property up to standard. Let's bring it up to its property to where it can be 100% on the market. It may not be the prettiest house. You still may need to do some cleanups
But it's
and
better
remodels.
than it was before.
But the major stuff, the stuff that's going to ruin an appraisal, the stuff that's going to hamper on a home inspection and really be the big request for repair items, we're going to take care of those early. You have major items on a buyer report. The buyer is getting scared. The buyer is ready to go and go, whoa.
I'm going to another house.
You need to start requesting for these to be repaired. You need to negotiate down this price because I'm going to have to soak the cost. Let's be honest. You get a property up to its top, to at least 100% on its normals, on normal mainline functions. You at least have a sellable house. Because let's be honest, the next person that walks in is probably going to change the kitchen, probably going to change the paint, probably going to change the bathroom, probably going to change the bedroom, probably going to change the living room. Throughout the time that they live in that home, they will change things. So what does it matter on the paint of the walls or any of that when it comes to a home inspection or on pre-listing side? You want me to show, hey, you need to update your furnace. Your HVAC system needs to be cleaned. You have an old panel that has lawsuits against it that is a health and safety concern. You need to change it. Does that bring the house up to 100%? Does it make it easier for you to sell?
It makes it way easier.
Because you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about those big red items.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Put
And
that
you know
on the
my
MLS. Hey, home inspection already done.
Guess
we
what?
took care of all these items.
And if the new home inspection, let's say there was some deficiency, let's say there was actual items that were a problem. If it hasn't hit market yet, does it have to go on disclosure until you fix it?
No.
So once it hits market and it's fixed, that doesn't have to be a disclosure because it has been fixed. You can have the receipts and everything to it.
Boom.
You can have everything attached to
You
it.
don't even need the receipts.
But just out of posterity. Just out of posterity.
Just that. Show it.
Just to be like flex.
Hey, real quick though. Obviously, one of the most amazing men ever.
Thank you, and you to yourself.
Bro, I love the background.
Thank you.
Seriously, I love the background. I love the business model.
Thank you.
It's all about the experience.
Absolutely.
Real quick, how can people reach you though?
So, the best way of people reaching us would be through our office. But again, I've got 4 ways of communication. So you
Wait,
can,
learn from this real quick. 4 ways of communication.
4 ways of
I'm gonna take this
communication. So when you call, you get our office manager during office hours, and that's 1.
I remember that.
If you call outside of office hours, you're gonna get a call center. That's 2.
No, hold on. No.
You're not gonna count those 2?
No. So it's even beyond that. So one of the ladies, she called me back after hours.
So anything that we do, so any of our things that are accepted by our call center, we backtrack on, and in the morning, we will backtrack on it to follow up to make sure that
She called me that night, bro.
Chris is amazing. That's Chris, and she's been great.
Called me that night. So I get it. There's most of the time they'll follow up and they'll call you that morning.
Within 24 hours of
dude,
your call.
Literally, it was like way
Less than
after
that.
hours, and I had I don't know, I wouldn't say a fire, but I needed something done. Like, she called me that night. I was surprised. It was, I don't know what time it was. Like
So,
7, almost 8.
Let me speak on this. When it comes to our office staff, when it comes to me, Danny, Chris, or any of our other office staff, there is a heart of motivation in that core right there that we try to just constantly invigorate and motivate more and more people. So then our inspectors are coming in, and then Friday is our leadership meeting. And we go through a 90-minute session, level 10 track meetings, very structured, very to the core. We identify our problems, we look for new solutions, and we spend the core of that meeting time dead on our issues, how to solve them, and with items that we can walk away with that day to begin our work on. We have an entire quarterly rock system. Basically, rocks for us are accomplishments, opportunities, and tasks within the office that we need to achieve. I personally think I have 18 I need to finish this quarter. That is how hungry we are, to put it in a better sense.
I know you hungry. Did you eat this morning?
I didn't eat this morning.
He's hungry then. He's hungry, fuck.
My
All
wife
right,
is
so
like-
4 ways of communication though.
So 4 ways. So after that, then we also have the online scheduling directly from the website. Then you can get that. The 4th and final is that once you've done a home inspection with us, at a simple request, we send you a dashboard. You can install it like a mobile app on your phone and schedule inspections right then and there. That's the 4th.
Okay, so those are 4 ways. So tell these people, you're on Instagram.
Yep.
Do you have a number?
So
I'll post it on the screen though too.
So our number though will be 1-800-720-2844, and that'll be to our direct line. And if you tell Chris that you know about her from me, then she'll probably get a kick out of you and have a good laugh. She's a fun lady.
Can we do like a code where they're like Jamaal10 and we'll give them $10 off or something?
I'll put up this.
Okay.
Jamaal, I will personally have a coupon code for you to add on to this.
Jamaal10. I need it.
I will make it for you, and we will put it on. So anyone that is watching this video that has seen this will get that discount, and I'll make it $50.
$50. All right, Jamaal50.
Jamaal50.
All right, cool, man.
Honey, can you take that down for me?
Jamaal50. It's cool, man. Yo, this is a lot of good stuff.
Dude, this was fun. It was fun.
Coleman, I appreciate you, man. Seriously.
Oh, dude, I never. He always hits me with these, and I can never get him right. Like
Alright.
he always. Okay, so how are we doing this? Okay.
It's the snap.
God, dude, you're hitting me with this.
It's a snap. Nobody can do that. Only I do it.
I sit there and I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
Let's get those wings.